Anyway, now that that's over with, let's continue on. It's actually too late in the day for really doing the coffee. What's missing down there? Just more stuff and junk. You built? I think you built 594. That's just 500 something built still to go. And I've got 14. Really contributing to the cause. Really contributing to the cause there. Error in the bottom right of the build? Yeah, I see it too. That's a bit of an error right there. Is that an error? Oh, potentially. I mean, I did the thing to remind me, and I still forgot. That one's fine. That one's not fine. It's anything but fine. Conceivably, that should just go there, and that's that fixed. So is there... yeah, it's fine. That roboport should be further over too, to give it slightly better coverage. Yeah, that's because I didn't double check to make sure I cleared the space properly, and it turns out I hadn't cleared the space. New Green River? Actually, what we're looking at? Yeah, the Copper River here. Copper and Plastic River. Curious about the blow. They put in new hardware. Got decent hardware. Did tests when installed. Bloat? What do you mean by bloat exactly? I saw it going by a few times. I wasn't sure what you meant. The lumpy, right mouse. So are we actually crafting more? Or is there a shortage? Yeah, there is actually a shortage. Okay. For those who didn't see, I showed last time, I actually did this after yesterday. Who came in late. I actually finished that off, moved it out the way already. I'm basically prepared for this big move on the low density and steel. Try and get it done in one sitting. Memory costs come down somewhere else there. Added too much buffer into the networking gear, so data sits in the box instead of moving along and timing out. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's actually interesting because that was a known issue quite a while ago. Was having too deep of a buffer in a network decreases its efficiency. I think I remember seeing an animation in like 2009 for that. Like, that's how far back it goes. Oh, West, dude. You know that doesn't work.
13 months just 4 MOJOD 1 JOB. Seems excessive plus plus equals plus plus equals.
Yeah, the Streamlabs doesn't read emoji, but thank you very much for the 13 months. Show that love and hype that Veldek just did. It's interesting that it's still going on. It's still a thing. I guess, again, cheap RAM, so they just shove it in there. Robbed. I can't do anything about it, you know. I don't know if any text-to-speeches will actually read emoji anymore. See a new problem? Uh-oh. Probably the only one. New problem? Every other one. There's only like stream elements and that's it. I'll find it when I get there. Uh-oh. I don't know if I like this game. I don't know if I like this game. Does it have anything to do with that? As long as it doesn't immediately affect the thing producing things. That's all I care about. I know that this main line needs to move. I know it needs it needs to move, basically. That needs to be bigger. There's quite a few things that need to be done. That needs to move out the way for the third one. I mean, this track is also wrong. As I say, there's so many little things. I might need a hint, yes. Headline, Sunday morning news that the police down under buses. Someone here only 450 kilos, a street value of 140 million koala monies. I mentioned it already. Do you mean the bendy bit here? Was it the bendy bit here? Or was it the fact that this doesn't go all the way up and doesn't stack? Yeah, the bendy bit. Okay. Save. Down to 45 EPS. I'm pretty sure I'm still pretty confident that's mini loader. Is responsible for that. How did that suddenly... Oh, that's why. Incoming. Very much incoming. Let's dive across here in a hurry. This import is going bad. I've never really heard of a switch dying outside of its power supply exploding. Like, I've never heard of a switch becoming marginal, unless it's a managed switch. I suppose, and then again, the managed switch is usually the power supply dying that kills it. What are we at? 20k. And here come the trainy trains. Oh, there's a missing signal somewhere there. Switches with PoE ports die faster? They're not edited for the cable version. Oh, yes. And when you say not edited for cable, you mean the non-US version. There we go. 39. It's going down. Switches with PoE die faster. I think that's still sounds like a power supply thing. It has actually been a long time since I've seen any of the Monty Python movies. Oh, good. See it's going down. Will we see it hit 40k? That is the question. Stupid bush. Get out of here. There. Just lay a belt on top of it to get rid of it. Admittedly, also, that's actually something pretty satisfying with, Oh, that's an old school one. With the Rift Maker, it's, just, just the sheer destruction that you do to all those alien worlds is impressive. I need to give Riftbreaker a go again. As I was saying yesterday, though, I do legitimately still have Riftbreaker Alpha PTSD. That Alpha was pretty savage. 40k, perfect. That should speed up space science a little bit. I mean, we're down to 38 UPS, so we must be doing something. It's definitely doing something. Is that almost a koala head? It's almost a koala head, isn't it? Now that I've told you, you can't unsee it. It's like kind of rotten though, and decayed. Switches that die at least once a month. Yeah, with 30,000 of them, it's not surprising. I think I'm in lifetime warranties. Side the movie. I'm sure that date went real well. It's definitely not a keeper if she isn't up for that sort of thing. Koala head drummed into the lake. Where is it there? Ah, penis. Get out of there. You're not supposed to be unloading everything. Keep moving. There you go. Right, now stop. Perfect. Probably missing all of your inserters now. So they've all been scooped up and stuffed into the trash. And they have. So now you got to go home and refill. Get the feeling the best two players. Yes. It sounds a lot like the lifetime warranty isn't actually lifetime. The gig speed on Cat 5 is theoretical. Well, Cat 5 was never supposed to carry gigabit. Neither was 5e for that matter. 5e was kind of, it was kind of, when 5e came out, it was basically the audiophile equivalent of fancy network cables. And then at some point they decided that the left cluster was fine. Okay. Brum. Throwing down that follow. Let's get 10 down, 50 up, which is... that is an odd ratio. Then you don't want to send it in for warranty because it's all obsolete. They probably don't even have the parts to fix it at that point. Probably lifetime warranty meant they'd send firmware updates. Yeah. That's the thing. No firmware updates on the lifetime warranty. Fine print. So this is our steel smelter that I'm proposing. Oh good, you're still powered. That's a bonus. That can't be. Can't tell you how much I hate the, hang on. Ooh, I could cram a substation in between, in betwixt. Like so. I like this idea. We shall keep the fish in there, but we shall also throw down the dumb poles. Get rid of them. Bam. Depower them. Plop that there, like so. And then... click and drag. You can almost span two. In that range. Might actually be able to. Not quite. But it works, and I can't complain with the results. Don't want the stuff in there, don't want the stuff in there, I don't want the pipes. I do want that as well. Like that. Start at 11,000 at the low end, the high end are over 1 million. Basically, you're working with Cisco switches then. Your basic Cisco switches. As that's what I'm hearing. Oh, I already had one. Yeah, that works. Totally the wrong spot. Yeah, it's one tile off from where I'd normally be, but I can't really fix it. Right, let's blueprint this thing again, like so. Get rid of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. I hit a pipe, I did too. That IPv6, it'll never catch on, won't it? Oh yeah, the merge chest means it doesn't do the full rotation as well, just to be extra annoying. Damn it. So I have to drop those. That's not the end of the world. Autosave. Hello, autosave. And we just flop it down, something like that. You see them all screeching forwards. That's why it's dangerous here. Sounds like IPv4 for internal routing. Internal net routing. So it's its own just massive IPv4 by the sound of it. You know what I'm actually... Oh, there they go. As I understand it, the biggest resistance against IPv6 is it basically kills geolocation. As I understand it, in IPv6, it's very easy to it's very easy, if not. Hang on, scratch that, reverse it. IPv6, it's a lot harder to nail down an address to a specific location because if you want to block something out, or things like blah, 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 things like VPNs and other services that can bypass locks are easy to block because you can easily spot the data center that they're by the IP address. That's how I understand it. I don't know how true it is. Can't do IPv6 in hardware, you can only do it in software because you need 256-bit hardware to IPs. Okay. But I have heard that the geolocation thing is a thing. As I say, I don't know if it's the entire thing. There's probably other forces at work. ABB just changed their IPv6 allocation from 56 to 48 for each connection. uh, IPv6 is still strange. It was born out of a completely different idea of what networks should be. Because, yeah, an IP. It was born out of the idea that every blade of grass would have an IP address. It's basically the people that thought everything would be basically IoT. Everything in your house would be connected to the internet without any kind of protection, any kind of air gap between you and the wider network. It would just be a flat network. That's how I remember it. Is that IPv6 was so that everything connected to the internet would just be on a flat network. There wasn't any it wasn't any tiers of routing, which I suppose arguably at the time was kind of true. Kind of terrifying. Yeah, it is. Even back in the day, it was actually legitimately terrifying because at the time when IPv6 was first becoming a thing, was also the peak time when the biggest and nastiest worms were going around. And the idea, and so you have the biggest and nastiest worms and viruses going around because this was the time about when Blaster and Lovebug were going around. Which those two stick in my memory. They're certainly not the only ones, but they were certainly big ones. And yeah, just having a flat network with everything all connected and all exposed to these things. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's kind of terrifying. Technically, it's only two 128-bit memory locations, unless I'm misunderstanding a step. Well, it takes from where's considering how long you required for. Oh dear. Actually, the old steel smelter can build this one. Might actually do a decent job of it. So I've already provided the means to do it. Game's slowing down a bit. I don't know if you've noticed. It's game's slowing down a little bit. How are we doing in general now? 7K signs a minute. It's just that everything's active though. Can't say I particularly care for running at UPSs this low. I meant to hold down shift as well, but I didn't. So I get rid of the roboports. Your spacing might be problematic. Just putting that out there. This track spacing might be problematic. That actually reminded me, I'd forgotten about that. There was days, there used to be days where there was no internet because a worm had just taken the whole thing down. That was a thing. I'd be like, yep, no internet today. And one of them worms has just obliterated it. Intercontinental robo network. You shouldn't do this. The only reason I can get away with it is because of the bot speed and the Mark III bots, which have the energy capacity to actually pull it off. But yeah, intercontinental bots are generally bad. I might summon the spiders. See how bad it would have been. How much of a nightmare it would have been with 4-bit hardware at the birth of the internet. Well, before IPv4, you would have been using either direct MAC address or IPX. I mean, there are some other fringe protocols, but you're basically using IPX or something like that. You're using direct hardware address. Mail server tries to send mail for multiple days because the phone line could be down. Yeah, that's something I haven't even thought of either for a very long time. I'm trying to think of what was before that, but yeah, I'm all I can think of is it was all manually mapped to IP before TCP/IP. It was all, as I recall, it was yeah just physical hardware addresses mapped. That goes even before name servers. Depends on where you look though. IPX SPX for superior. Doesn't IPX have serious problems with bridging networks? I seem to remember that was like the biggest flaw was you couldn't bridge it between you couldn't expose it to a wider network without massive issues. It could only exist in a local network. Seen a picture of the first wireless connection. Yeah, it was basically an address with no. I don't recall it being I don't recall it being routable. It may have changed later versions. I just remember that it had a lot of problems. I'm trying to think. Don't remember now. It was always that weird one that some games had, because it's IPX is a little bit before my time. Statement still remains valid. Novell definitely dropped the ball on IPX and all that. Basically, all their stuff they screwed up. Wasn't there also a? Was it IPX or was it another one? There was another one where if traffic, where the performance of the network, or the traffic on the network affected every client. I might be a different protocol though. I seem to remember there was another one, a third one, which had that problem where the uh, the the performance of the network, the global performance of the network was affected by even local traffic. Is Novell still around? No, Novell's gone. It wasn't Token Ring as such. Um, it was part of what killed the networks when with the Microsoft mail server thing. Unless it was actually Token Ring. I seem to remember it was the it may have actually been coaxial Ethernet, if that was the case. I don't recall. I seem to remember it as a protocol. I think I'm wrong though. But I'm sure it was a star network. Yeah, a bus network, ThinNet, um, is a common as a common carrier. I am aware of that. Actually, I have a token ring card and an ArcNet card somewhere. Yeah, coaxial was Ethernet coax was a shared medium. It had a lot of problems because even unplugging and plugging a client to the network would kill the network briefly. Yeah, using the BNC cables, the 50 ohms. It was half duplex. Yeah, I don't cut. Bus is coax is bus. ThinNet, and then then you have the vampire splicers back to the thicker cable, which has an active repeater. It has an active component, so it doesn't create a too long of a stub. Stub was what I was trying to think of. Put the Terminator on the right, it killed the whole link. Yeah, or if you put a third Terminator in, it just splits the network in two. Because one side of the third, if you put the third Terminator in the middle, it kills everything either side of like whatever's either side of the Terminator that's in the middle can't talk to the other side. Yeah, I'm talking about coax now. I've sort of diverged from what I was talking about before. But I seem to remember there was, as I say, like the original thing I was talking about, I seem to remember there was a protocol which exchanged data with every client on the network for whatever reason, but not necessarily using a bus link interface. Oh, it's full of bots. That's why they won't shove bots in the hole. Switches, yeah, because hubs would quite happily pass everything through regardless of whether or not it was valid data or not. Although having said that, hubs RJ45 hubs, uh, they do join everything together, but they're a lot more resilient compared to the straight coax. Here's the real question. Did the Vampire Tap connect via a 15-pin cable or a coax? I've seen both. Using the AUI module. It's done a pretty good job. You can get both. You can get coax and you can get one with an AUI port on it. Like the Vampire Tap itself plugs into coax, but the output of the Vampire Tap could be at the 15-pin AUI. UPS is going up, even though we're doing 22k a minute. It's actually making some decent progress. The thing I was going to do was have a look at Factorio Lab. Oh boy, I've got like 5 million tabs open. It's funny how they actually do a satisfactory thing as well. So, 376,123. That sounds like more than... Yeah, that's 338,000. Yeah, I need to progress a little bit. And so, what are you? You are 14. So 21.6. Yeah, they're not full speed. They're not quite full speed, but they're close. 21.6, 116, 1.4. You buy. So we have 16 machines per train. That makes 18, 14 total per. So each one of these individual builds makes 18, 14 steel per minute. Yeah, apparently I've succumbed to the ways of doing it this way. So yeah, this one is 16. It's not going to be a very dense smelter. What is it? 338. I'm typing into Excel at the minute. 511 equal. No, not E. Just 33. Oh, actually, equals U divided by U. Now it's going to say 0 because it's dividing by 0. I'll just say 400,000. So 220. If I was to go by that number there in Factorio Lab, Bionic might have a new cat video. He does. He's got a cat GIF. Or is it GIF? Only sadists and psychopaths say GIF. I've gone and said it. 207. So we say 208. So I need 208 of these. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the minute. Okay. This is going to be a big boy. Choosy perverts choose GIF? Or is it GIF? Or are you a psychopath and say GIF? What do we got now? 26. I'm going to fix that with great difficulty. Definitely GIF. What are you even looking at? Have I turned over 2 pages at once? It makes sense to have those builds on both sides of the pickup. How do you mean? Oh, yeah, potential. No, it has to be 1-to-1. Yeah, it has to be 1-to-1 for this to work, annoyingly. Because of the way the base works, it has to be, yeah, 1-to-1. This thing's gonna be monstrous. I don't think I can get around it. I'm thinking if I can. I mean, I suppose it's possible to double gank it. As I say, it really needs to be 1-to-1. It's a risky maneuver not doing a 1-to-1. It would half the size. Just MP4s with different extensions. Pretty much. They're kind of obsolete because they can only hold 256 colors. It also occurs to me that that means I potentially need 200 something steel trains. uh, dear. It means I legitimately need, so because there's 200 something, what does that say, 208 steel pickups, it means I need 208 steel trains. It's a lot of steel trains. Yeah, I think I can maneuver. I think I can double up somehow. 200. It would actually be what, 416. So 400, so 208 waiting, and then another 200 going elsewhere into the base. Uh, yeah, I think I can. I think I can make it not do the thing and the stuff. I hadn't even considered that angle. How many trains? Good question. 590. Yeah, that's a lot of trains. Oh, screw you, bloody blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Damn merge chests. So I guess in that case, I'm doing a bit of that. Say it's a lot of trains. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Not wrong. Oh, because it's got track in it. It's 1K, but it's nothing, isn't it? 1K trains, it's nothing. But hey, it gets the substation spaced out a little nicer. And the West dude in cahoots. Okay, now it only needs 100 and something, which is a little bit more reasonable. I also realize this compresses. No, it does actually still do one train. It does one train, but it turns. No, it might not actually. No, it is 1-to-1. This smelter is 1-to-1. It just uses a lot of furnaces to achieve it. Because it's a much more aggressive smelting rate. So yeah, this one's only... So this revision is now... should only be half that. That 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4. You reach, you do not reach. Because you're out of electricity. Run out of power. Three-quarter? Yeah, you're right, actually. It's not half. I mean, it's a slight improvement. Just means I'm now 32. Um, so it goes from 207 to... Ah. To 103. So I need 104 of these now. Instead of 200. I suppose that's another good reason why I don't do these very often. Let's grab it again. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. It's going to need an entire continent. Just putting it out there. I think this might need an entire continent. So SPM, good question. It is 30k a minute, apparently. Sort of a bit all over the place. Oh, it looks like it actually... Oh, that's copper cable. Yeah, it's holding steady at 29. Russian spacecraft thrusters fired... Again, until... Again? 109,000 space packs just then. What's the goal? 36,000. think, yeah, 4 out of 5. The last one, if the last one was going, it would cap out. That was not great is the answer to the question that I was wondering, that I was asking, I was saying, how bad is this thing, how bad is this thing looking? And the answer is not great. Yeah, this junction is problematic, because it doesn't have the run-ups that it should have. Another far off? No, it's surprisingly 2 out of 3 of these has actually got it going pretty good. I guess that's a testament to how good this improved, revised build is. This build is a significant improvement. Hello, terrible T-junction. How are you doing today? Yeah, that's quite the traffic jam. That's why I was planning all these tracks, because I knew I knew it was going to be a problem. I'm going to phase out these outposts too, and use the lower density smelt, direct mine smelt situation concern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, it was 12. Divides by 8, doesn't it? Yeah, 13 eighths. I don't know why I thought it didn't. It means, no, it doesn't divide, yeah, it doesn't divide by 16, that's why. It divides by 8. That's why I thought it didn't. Or that would have been why I thought it didn't, because it doesn't divide by 16. It's going to be a monster. I suppose I could double layer it. Don't really want to, though. It'd also be a fairly slow craft. You and... Where is it? Roboport. Blacklist. Should have added radar to it. Yeah, so if you ever wanted to know how to remove everything except for something, flip that to blacklist. So it effectively becomes, these are the things you want to keep. It means you can do some interesting things, like if you want to remove everything that's not trees, you flip that to blacklist. Veldak, gifting that sub. It's a terrible juncture. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So yeah, if you just want to tear up something in the middle of a forest, for whatever reason that you built something in the middle of a forest, example. Much better. Show some love and hype. That's really really kind of you. Apparently it's chind. To give that sub. So yeah, so if I do that, see it deletes everything except for the trees. Sometimes that's useful. It's good to know. How to not get... Yeah, I know, it's... It... What do I mean I know? Words. Words. Um... basically how to be a savage and not get rid of trees. Sorry, my words are failing me. Words are hard. Yeah, how to preserve the trees is by doing that. Permanent tree blacklist. Oh, need to switch out his blueprint for a tree blacklist. Need the privileges so you can switch it from his inventory remotely. Trees fill up space so you can use them to make your factory bigger. Yeah, you can use them to make your factory grow. It's if you want to tear down something without having to sit around waiting for them to be all torn down. That's where that filter's useful for. To be a true heathen, put fish in there too. That'd be terrible though. Who would want to blacklist fish? Am I moving? Yeah, I'm moving this entire build up to here. I could double stack it actually. How would that work? Probably badly. I definitely need a space below it. What I say, this is only 12 here. So it needs 24, 36, 48. So that's only half of it. So it goes there, 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 and then there. So that's basically how long it is currently. But if I double configure it, that folds it in half, so it should only extend to there. Build over your iron and coal. Build it into two pieces. Yeah, I could do that too. I could have multiple. I don't need one big monolithic blob. I built over the ore patches just because like they're quite big. I did turn the richness up, and there's plenty of other patches over here. Thermal views to use there. Channel points to make a blob of trees on the map. It's funny. It is. I've seen it and I've done it, and it is hilarious. Yeah, the close ones aren't great, but also I'm trying to segregate the outposts outside of the base, so I'm trying to keep the outposts out this side of the base rather than this inside the base. I might even just remove these outposts as they are. Some of them are naturally dying, like some of the really early ones are dying off, but they don't really um, help things. You don't want the ore trains, the outpost trains, clogging up the internal base traffic. Should I do integration? I guess that's the ultimate question. I've kind of always avoided it. But I suppose I could embrace it. Where's a long output there? Yay! Research done. The next one's quite expensive, but there was the robot capacity. Let's keep it rolling. Looks like it's holding steady at 4 out of 5. Surprising considering this is not even like what I have running is like 1/3 of the proper steel smelter. Oh, that can actually come down a fair way. Like it could come down to there. Probably gonna regret doing that, but I'm gonna do it. So yeah, bring it down to there. Um, I'm gonna get the spiders out of the way. This calamity. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm gonna make front and center. Probably gonna regret it, but oh well. So yeah, they can go like that. There. I might actually abort that just to keep the UPS up. And yeah, what I might do is have it some go down, some go up. That UPS. Thinking. Now I'm being distracted by this. Oh, there's actually no low densities waiting. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Oh, rocket fuel. Why isn't rocket fuel keeping up? Hang on a minute. That's why it's not keeping up. What's going on there? Lab mode coming on in. Yes. Oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. That's this thing. It's not able to power. Plan after you hit 38k science? I don't know. Yeah, I think power might just generally be... I think power in the main system might be okay. Yeah, it's only 65 gigawatts. It can support that. It's a fault in this. That's possibly in the totally wrong spot. I think I did this a little while ago. That's why. So this is a little so the way I make lubricant is by cold liquefaction, and then I just burn off the excess. I just burn off everything left over, which isn't outputting at the minute. Oh, because it's not really using lubricant. That's why. And it needs to burn off the excesses somehow, and by somehow it uses power. But the division of the grid is wrong. I might need to manually intervene on that. Something ain't right there. Hey, skull drum. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do once I get the full 36k going. I'll probably UPS optimize from there. Which mainly involves getting rid of MIDI loaders. It's just an absolute spider's web of stuff. Get busy on that. Be careful with those kookaburras. They're pretty savage, aren't they? Hey Cloud, how you doing? How you with? I gotta dump all this junk. I'll just empty my inventory first, over here. If it wasn't running at 33 UPS, it'd be done by now. Use loader furnace. Is that an actual mod? The thing that I want is a 1x1 loader. One furnace per belt. I suppose that's technically what this is doing. Alright, Alright, let's get rid of the furnaces, the Copernicuses. Sort of getting rid of the modules too. Feels almost game breaking. It's almost like using, what's it called? The thing with the stuff in the junk. How am I gaining furnaces still? It's making me think of, I've gone blank. The factory floor, the thing that gives you the building, the warehouse. That's it. You're making me think of warehouse. Where you pack the entire factory inside the factory building. Is it warehouse? No. Factorismo, that's it. That's the one. Two directors now fully running a factory. Nice. Oh, this is a bad idea. Haven't played with Factorismo in a long... Yep, hello train. How you doing? Yep. Yep. Fortunately, with such a low UPS, it's a lot easier to dodge trains. It's not impossible to not get run over, but it's certainly a lot easier. You have more time to react. It's a lot easier to get hit. It's a lot harder to get hit, unless you're Exterminator, and then you still get hit. It's like 30 UPS. I didn't think it was going that fast. Yeah, because it's 30 UPS. Great for small, but yeah, it sort of reaches a point where it doesn't scale. How's a pollution cloud? Yeah, like that, like that. Because I turn bias off, I turn pollution off. Otherwise, it would be monstrous. Probably shouldn't send the train through here, but I'm going to. So what's the base cooking at the minute? It's 9,000 blue circuits a minute, 47,000 reds, 600,000 greens. Do we actually... No. Still haven't peaked at 1.1 million yet. Nine AM now, off to bed. Have a good night. Oh, good night, Meb. That's definitely late. There's no doubt about that. First rule of Factorio, don't talk about the pollution cloud. No, one never speaks of the pollution cloud. Share, is it doing it now? There it goes. I suppose I can add more accumulators, that's another way to do it. I feel like the game is getting faster too. Because I seem to recall it was there for a reason. Do you actually have accumulators on you? By chance? Feels like the kind of thing I would have done. Apparently not. It's because these, yeah, it's max output 4.8 megawatts, so there's not enough megawatts to go around. I think, it might actually be because, it might also be because, this thing is connected and it shouldn't be. That link's in there. How's it look now? That's better. This isn't good for UPS either. Yeah, I think that was how it was meant to be. I don't actually remember specifically how it was meant to be. But the idea is it's meant to help get rid of... Oh, hello. Hello. You're missing chests. Has that been done elsewhere? Or just there? I think just there, yeah, just there. But it's meant to help with the lubricant production. Is legitimately all of rocket fuels needed? 9k. 16k. Might need buffer chests. Stick coming in with that follow. Hello. 12k, yes. 15k, 16k. Let me double check. Factorio lab. 30k. So this is only half of what it should be. Huh. So this... This is problematic. How have I done that? An excellent question. How have I done that? See, I have a feeling that would happen. They'd all get jammed up. Report coverage? There probably isn't. Doesn't matter anyway, it's not really needed. As I say, it was, the connection was wrong. It wasn't meant to plug into the output, it was meant to plug into those machines. Trouble now is I've got to escape somehow. Which I probably should have done already. Hopefully I can do it in time. Eee, crap, crap, crap. That was dangerous. Next one. I'm gonna just auto it. Just auto it out of here. UPS is coming back. It's going to be a stupid number of plate trains coming into the steel smelter. I was thinking about having 4 tracks, but it might not be enough. Another train jet? Oh, it's because it's not researching anymore, so everything's backing up. There we go, I made it. Somehow. Yep, Frogger time. It's no good without a good... it's no fun without a good bit of Frogger. As long as you sort of follow the same direction as the train, it gives you a bit more time. Like I was doing moving the same direction as the train. Buys a little bit more time. The trick is also to look at the minimap. None of this actually helps in reality. I just like to think it does. Like once the train knows that you're coming, it's gonna take you out. There's no question. Alright, let's power up a little bit more of this. Hopefully. Maybe. It would be ever so nice if that substation was built, yes, like that. What's going on with these? Oh, they're all just fully stonked on stuff. So that might help. Yeah, it's unjammed the storage situation because it's giving it somewhere where they can actually put the stuff they're picking up. Oh, Master, how you doing? What's the time? Oh, it's 6. Alright, I need to get out of here soon. I was actually planning on staying a little earlier. I started a little late. On the trees. Oh, hey, and Bowmaster with a follow there too. Yeah. Flatmate, made some made fried chicken. Ooh. Neato. Fortunately, we're a long way from I see. I mean, that's definitely hype time. Homemade fried chicken. Can't complain with that. All in one ear. I see a flaw with that. Of course, these spiders happen to scoop up all of the nuclear fuel. Because why wouldn't they? Gotta Gotta get it out of their inventory somehow. User. It's also not going to help things. Holding on to all the villagey bots. I think there's only there's only 36 in the network here. There's not a lot. It's all construction bots in this network. That's why nothing's getting picked up. Yep. No, it's all rigged. Just got to deal with it. So, what are we building? Steel smelter. Exclamation mark leaves. See if Spidey's can build stuff this time. Just thinking about doing a layered thing. Tons of points to waste. Hmm. So if it's on the inside, yeah, I think I see it. What I was thinking was if this turns first, and then this turns second, like that. So this is where all the steel trains come through. And this is what all the iron trains come through on. Make it like a 4-lane here. 1 lane here. I probably should make that 2. So it'd be 6 lanes, 2, 4, 6 lanes total. Something like that. Only not terrible like that. So it'd actually be burp, 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 like that. Pull the third rail out. Can you smell like a koala? I mean, you can. You probably wouldn't like the result, though. I did? Okay. So yeah, something like that. Do I want any kind of... I do kind of want train stacking behind it. So I'll grab that. Grab me old trusty faithful measuring stick. Yeah. Do, do, do. You're missing a train stop. That's no good, is it? Yeah, it does consistently just keep sliding down over time. Seems to be quite a issue now. Never used to be so bad at sliding in time. It's the part that I find intriguing. It never used to be too much of a problem until more recent memory, last few years. You can tell where the ocean used to be. Yeah. So steel in the middle. Speaking of missing things, they're missing inserters. So what I'm doing right now is just generalizing it for one thingy. And just extend it from there for all the others. So that needs to go up like that. This game is anything but reverse global warming. It's the it's the anti-global warming. Watching the VOD and then boom, here I am. Nice. As I was sort of rambling about before, I won't be on much longer. Probably another 10. Learned. This is a word for someone throwing. Yeah. There is a technical term for throwing someone out a window. Because those Croats? Czechs are really good at it. And Austrians and Hungarians. I like throwing people out of windows for some reason. Should be there. Dunks used to be good at. The houses usually had tiny doors and giant windows. Yeah. Hmm. I always remember hearing of, in history, I always recall hearing of it happening, usually something going on more towards the Austrian end of Europe. It's almost built. Trouble is, I might need to remove these outposts. I have a feeling I'm going to end up consuming them in the process. Defend straight? Yeah, defend straight. There are bad things going on. Windows office. Cardi Lou. Loop. I feel like that's off by one. Like it should actually be there. But I don't know if that... Yeah, it does signal. It's just the gap edge is a little wide, that's all. Fortunate that the train stop limit means that I don't need to worry too much about giant ass chain blocks. So I can actually do this. And have regulars going out. That one doesn't actually matter. Oh, you do actually need to be there anyway. I was like, hang on a minute. That there. Cool. And it goes on from there. I suppose I'm not really making the generic variation anymore. I'm doing that though. It's kind of terrible, but kind of necessary. I want to make sure that trains keep moving. I may end up revising it, but we'll see how we go. And then the worst part is about this build. I press G. Oh. Oh. Worst part is I take a blueprint again, hold down Shift, delete all the signals, then press G. Then I do the same thing, same, but it goes up top. If there weren't poles in the way. And that makes up the entirety of the steel smelter. So that makes 24, 48, 1, 2, 96, there. Yeah. Hmm. Could I just layer it entirely? Possibly. Yeah, instead of making it all of the long. In fact, let's get rid of that. Throwing something out the window is a cultural common thing to show someone did something really wrong. Get out the door. It's not really meant to be lethal, but yeah. It's kind of a thing, kind of a showy thing. Meant for show rather than for a specific purpose, specific reason. Like just being, like just trying to, instead of just trying to be funny, it's an actual reason. Like it's trying to demonstrate something. Yeah, so what I was started thinking was maybe instead of doing a mirror, do 1, 2, 3 of the same, but stacked on top of each other. Because then, the problem with mirroring is it can't. It's maybe. I'm just thinking It ends up having some crossed rails. That's what I was trying to say, but it might be okay. I'm trying to minimize the length of crossing as the main thing. And if I can just reduce the scale of the damn thing, that would be nice too. As I say, that's 12, so there, and there, there. That's 48, and then double it is 96. It's still huge either way you look at it. Why does the mirror have to be next to the other part? I mean, it doesn't have to. You could even tap into the same I wouldn't do that actually. I wouldn't tap into the same tracks, but yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be right there. It could be somewhere else in the base. I just like putting it in one place. I just like the idea of putting it in one place. And considering that the oil might extend up, yeah, I can actually have it anywhere. I could actually have it, I could actually stack it way more vertically. I don't have to extend it horizontally. Like maybe extend it to over here and start collide with the old one a little bit, but just stack vertically. Just repeat the same thing, same orientation. It's interesting how I think it's just a bit of everything. Rotate 90, build up. Yeah, it could work too. Why didn't I do the rotate 90? I was looking at rotating 90 degrees and building up before. Why didn't I do that? Something made me change my mind, and I don't remember what it was. This happens a lot with my builds, is that you always start doing something and then I say, oh, what if I do it this way? What if I do it that way? And so nothing ever gets built, for anyone wondering, playing along at home. Yeah, nothing ever gets done because I'm constantly changing and updating these things. So yeah, could still have 5k for the day though. Yeah, could do that there. Just worried about extending the junction so long. Suppose it doesn't hurt. Or I could do the mirror thing actually. I want to give it lots of space too. So yeah, maybe do a mirrored... Mirrored? I don't think I'll do mirrored. Just thinking. Do I want to do mirrored? Either way, it's in from the bottom out at the top. I mean, it's going to be double stacked either way. Hmm. No, I won't mirror it. But we will plop it about there. About there. Make sure to give it some room this time. And then it'll probably end up spending, like, off and on tonight or something, waiting for it to get done. Yeah, and then another one here, say. Yeah, and then they can just extend up, and we'll get rid of those copper outposts. That's fine. I think it ends up being there somewhere. Yeah, that'll work. It's a bit of a mess, but okay. I'm gonna say a bit of a mess. It's a massive mess. The time. I think it's almost that time. I think I managed to pad out the runtime a little bit there. So yeah, that's where we're looking at for the steel smelter. I don't know why I only did half of the rocket fuel. I feel like I've been through this loop before with the rocket fuel, that I only built half of what I needed to build. Annoyingly, no, you don't need thingies. It's just doing that thing again with the oil. The N1's not getting oil. It's another little issue to be addressed. It's going to be like that for quite a while, dealing with all the little problems with the various builds. Move coffee time by that time. I could also do a later one in like 2 hours time, but I don't think I will. Just build half, running half speed at pipe issue. It seems to be just running at half speed. I think I might have accidentally just built half. Because it seems like it's just running at it tops out at 15k, which I think is all it can do. Arguably, I'd probably change it to be 1-to-1 and get rid of the belts. But I think, yeah, it is just, might do that. I might change it to 1-to-1. But yeah, I think, because this is a copy from the 8k base. This is basically the build from the 8k base. I think I just did it wrong. Just outright did it wrong. And built half. But yeah, I think that'll just about do it for now. I don't know who's on it this time. No one. No one really. My list is empty. Did you build? Yeah, I already read that. Yeah, so I think that'll do for me.